Good morning, everybody. How appropriate we have some thunder rumbling just as we start here. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but yeah, it's gonna be one of those fun days. My dogs absolutely hate days like this. Uh, must be rough having to go do your business in the pouring rain. But anyhow, it is what it is. I'm gonna try to get some laundry done a little while later. Catch up on some inside stuff as long as I have power. And currently, it is, as you might guess, it's raining. We have just a good old fashioned thunderstorm moving through, and the temperature hasn't gone up that much. It's like in the 50s, so that's a good thing because usually when it's cooler, it keeps the really bad stuff from happening. But what they're talking about is this bunch will move through, and then there's going to be a little break, and then the sun will come out and it's going to warm things up, which could make that next wave when it comes in and hits that warm front. That's what they're really worried about. So I'm hoping the warm front stays farther south. And of course, they're saying the worst of the stuff is going to be south of I-20, which guess where yours truly lives. South of I-20. So anyway, it is what it is. We've been through these before. So we'll make it. All right, let's see who's here today. This is kind of a last minute thing. I told you yesterday I wasn't going to schedule one for today last night. I just waited to see what it was like, and I'm like, well, we can probably squeeze one in today. So let's see what we got here. We got Dave Clemens says, Big D in the house. Morning, Dave, and everyone. Happy Thursday. Thumbs up. 39, headed to 53 here in fantastic Brooklyn, Michigan. Welcome, Dave. How you doing this morning? Wilson Rubottom says, I'm going to miss this morning. Have to get blood work done. Have a good one. Well, hope it all comes out. All right there, Wilson. Troy Pritchard's in the house. Says, morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hoping everything is okay down Dave's way. I hope so, too. It is right now. It's later tonight, starting around, I think, 4 p.m. anywhere to, I don't know, later on in the evening. But hopefully whatever it is will come and go quick. And hopefully it will skip over me again. I hope so. Let's see here. Walker's in the house. Morning, everyone. 37 going to 64. Thumbs up. Yeah, we got a few thumbs up going on over there. Earl says the weather is showing bad there right now. It's just the big blob of rain. That's what we've got right now. It's not the really bad stuff yet. Stephen Toronto's in the house. How you doing, Stephen? Kevin Els, good to see you, my friend. Let's see. Ryan Ballard says, morning, coffee crew. Paul Stewart says, good morning, all. Happy Thursday. And a few thumbs up there. Appreciate that, Paul. Gary Hammett, Wood Creations, is in the house. Good morning. George H. Rothfuss is here on the Facebook. Good morning, George. Totally Wood Workshop. Jim Santacola says, good morning, everyone. George says, sounds like the South had a rough night. Yeah. The ones east of us have. I saw something. They showed a big picture of a big twister. It was in somewhere in Oklahoma. Madill, Oklahoma, I think. And said they had a few fatalities with that. So Hitch Hamilton's in the house this morning. How you doing, Hitch? Hope you're doing well. Mike Haichu. Good morning, sir. Bart Bixel. Good to see you, he says. Yeah. Doc Whitaker's in the house this morning. Dave, raining here. Well, yeah. I see. Gary says, Dave, it's funny. It runs either below or above I-20, like the weather knows where it is. Yeah. 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 They always say that. A lot of times they'll say, well, it's following along I-85. And I'm like, I really don't think it knows that it's, knows what I-85 is. It just goes where it wants to go. Darren Birds is in the house. How you doing, Darren? Steve Gronsky had a momentary power hit. Back on now, 57. Headed to 77. All right. Steve is out there in Mustang, Oklahoma, if I remember correctly. Grant Clark is in the house. How you doing, Grant? Got a little smaller crowd today, but I figured that we probably would have because I didn't schedule it last night. But I didn't want to schedule something and then get up and not have power or anything like that. I didn't know exact timing of all this mess, but looks like it's relatively calm right now. I mean, it's raining, but just a light rain. Nothing. It is dark outside though. It's really overcast and dark. Let's see. Charles Steed's here. How you doing, Charles? Hope you're going to stay safe up there in, I think you're in Rome, Georgia. And you probably already got a lot of this because it looks like last time I looked at the big blob on the screen, it looked like it was already pretty much over Metro Atlanta. At least the yellow part, which I guess is the thunderstorm part. Tim Halcom says, good morning, everyone. How you doing, Tim? All righty, so I think we're caught up on the comments. I don't really have much news today. It's that kind of same old. I told you the other day our governor has decided he's going to open up things here in Georgia, and there's so many people just freaking out, basically. And I don't quite get why everybody's freaking out, because if you're uncomfortable, stay home. He didn't make it in order that you have to go back out. If you want to stay quarantined at home, stay quarantined at home. I guess that one thing they might be worried about is that if they have a job at some company and the company's been shut down, and now the company says, well, we're tired of losing money, we're going to open up, and then the employees don't want to come in because of the thing. But it's all, it's not like it's his decision by himself. He got consulted by all the so-called experts. So, maybe it'll backfire on him. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Like I said, it's not a big, not something that really affects me a whole lot because I work right here from home anyway. Most of the stuff I can do right here. Only have to go out once in a while. I did have to go out yesterday. I was trying to ship something UPS, and I'd been, doing the labels online and just scheduling a pickup. Well, that works okay if you've got several things you're shipping, because they do charge you extra to pick up. But if you've got, 3 or 4 things you can spread that out over, it's not a big hit. But I only had one thing, so I thought, well, that's because it literally doubles the price pretty much to ship it and have them come pick it up. So I thought, well, what I'll do is just to save time so that I don't have to spend a lot of time in the UPS store around all those cuties, I'll go ahead and buy my label and just drop it off, because that's really one of the cheapest ways is to do your stuff online and just run in and go, here, it's already ready to go. You just set it down, walk out. But I could not get the UPS website to work right. I mean, it went through all the steps, and when it came time for me to pay for it and print it, it just did that little wheel, like it's waiting on stuff. And I got up and I went out to the shop and loaded another blank, come back in and sat through a whole nother run and went back out. And finally, I just give up. And I thought, well, I guess I'll just do it the old-fashioned way and take it over there to the UPS store. Fortunately, it wasn't very crowded. There was one other customer in there, and two of the girls, Tiffany and Courtney, were working. But everybody had on a mask but me. So I felt a little out of place. But it is what it is. Gotta, people order stuff. I gotta send it out. Let's see. Here's old Mike Seals says, good morning, everyone. Mike, got your video scattered out everywhere, and it is on the website playlist as well. So it's all ready for the voting when we start that. There's old Ray Whitaker. He says, hi, Doc. Where is Janet? I have not seen Janet this morning or seen her name pop up. But Bart Bixel says, we can't have the governor stepping out of line and possibly showing the experts in the left that they were wrong. Yeah. Well, of course, the president in one of his, what do they call that, coronavirus press conference or something, he was saying that he disagreed with him and stuff, but then he also says, he's got to do what he feels is best, and he tells, and he's saying all along that he's going to put out these guidelines, but that it's up to the individual governors to decide what's right for their state. So who knows? It's there's just so much conflicting information. I'll put it like that. You just don't know what to believe. Let's see. Yeah, how you doing, Ray? You'll have to go see where Janet is, I guess. I haven't seen her this morning, so she's a regular though. She's all except for when she had that little cootie mess she had. But speaking of cootie mess, my buddy Jim came home yesterday. He had called me one time from up there, and he still had a couple of tubes in him, and he said, oh yeah, I'm going to go home either Sunday or Monday. Well, that was him thinking, not them. And so he ended up getting home yesterday, and he called me again last night, and you could just tell he just tuckered out. I won't say he sounded terrible, but he just sounded really super tired. He just, it just knocked the wind out of his sail. So, but he's on the mend, and thank y'all for your thoughts and prayers for my buddy Jim. He's back home, and looks like he's going to be all right. So, George H. Rafa says, I'm very concerned about the number of small businesses that won't be with us when we reopen. Holly Toledo. Look what happening in the hospital industry. Massive revenue loss, shuttering facilities, dumping employees. Just one example. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's okay to say, well, we need to shut down some of these businesses that are non-essential and stuff, but they can't be shut down forever. I mean, people have to decide, based on the facts they're given, and that's what's the hard part, because like I said, there's so many conflicting things going on. But they have to decide, well, do I want to be healthy and dirt poor and lose everything? Or do I want to take a chance that I won't even catch the darn virus and go back to work? Um, but, I think it's interesting that there's a certain group of people that seem to take joy in everything being shut down. And of course, that particular group of people, they're still getting their big checks right along. It's not hurting them a bit. But when you see them do press conferences or something, and they're grinning and stuff, that, oh no, we should keep it shut down till after November, there's just something wrong with that. Let's see here. I missed something there. Oh, Mike Sills is asking me if I need to borrow his social distancing device. No, I don't. I'm pretty good. I've been social distancing way before it was even cool. I just don't feel the need to get around people that I don't need to be around. So it's all good here. Yeah, lots of governors seem to take joy in wielding power by keeping things shutting down. Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will, but it seems like I read something that the Department of Justice is looking into the overreach that some of these governors are doing. It's like, you can't, just like I mentioned the other day, that little girl, and I can't even remember what state it was now, but that little girl that was out there playing basketball in her driveway, her parents' driveway, by herself, and they come up and take her basketball goal away. Like, no, you got to go in the house. That's ridiculous. That's, and then saying, you can go have certain things done, but you can't do, for example, they're saying, it's okay, you can still go get an abortion, but you can't go to church, even the drive up type of church. They won't allow that. So yeah, there's a big power game going on with some of these governors. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And then there's one or two that just seem to, it's like they just want this to go on forever, because that way they get to be on TV every day, talking about stuff. But I don't know. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Mike Seal says, it's not because you don't know how to do it. It's for the other people that can't seem to understand what 6 feet is. My social distancing is more than 6 feet. I don't even want to get that close to them. Tom P61 says, yep, many meat processors are shut down here in the Midwest, so meat might be hoarded again soon. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. John Lang says, my RV service business is down by 98%. However, my woodworking business is up. Doesn't balance out, but I have something coming in. Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes when something like this happens, there's always sometimes there's a silver lining, and maybe that when you can't do your main gig, you start figuring out, well, what can I do while all this is going on to try to make a little money, and then the next thing you know, that's your new gig. So, yeah. Grant Davis says, Dave, what are you doing today? Probably some laundry. Uh, I got to thinking my laundry basket's just piled up in there. And I'm thinking, if a tornado hits my house and scatters those clothes all over the county, I at least want them to be clean. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do some laundry in between try to get all of it done before the really bad stuff gets here. Dave Pugh's in the house. How you doing, David? Good to see you. Got a picture with a big old fish right there. Stephen Stephen Toronto says, I could not afford to meet before the pandemic. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's I can hear the rain starting to pick up a little bit now, the rain. It's going to be one of them really yucky days. But, anyhow, did y'all watch my new video yesterday? Looked like it was doing pretty good. Look, I've had a bunch of comments and stuff. People want me to do one of the Saturday shows about the rotary axis thing, so I'll try to throw something together for that. David, where'd he go? David says he's going to be back to being essential tomorrow. Does that mean, sure that doesn't mean you're going to be getting on airplanes and traveling all over everywhere like I see you do sometimes. Michael Bell's here, says hi all. Oh, here we go. Headed to Cincy in the AM for work. Okay. Well, just be safe, man. Hold your breath in that plane all the way to Cincy. Yeah, those airplanes, they're like one big old giant petri dish full of stuff. Ray says, I saw your radar. Not a good day. Yeah, that's an understatement there. I just hope it's not as bad as they say. That's all I can hope for, because and it kind of tickles me because they're always saying, make sure you have your weather app handy and know where your safe place is and have a plan. I mean, when you live in a house like this with I got a crawl space, but I don't have a basement. My little so-called safe space is going to be the interior hall bathroom, which is really small. And I got to try to fit two big old dogs in there. So, if something comes and it's not much of a safe place. It's just that's where they'll find me when they move the debris. But yeah, but I'm hoping that everything is good. They make it sound like it's just there's going to be a tornado in every neighborhood and stuff, but helps get the viewers glued to their station because they'll break in on programming and be there and stuff. So helps the ratings, I guess. David Pugh says, I think they are fine. They have eliminated all middle seats. Oh, that's good. That's good. They still, even if you took the middle seats out, seems like the other two are still pretty close together, closer than 6 feet. I always hated flying because it never felt. I'd always get somebody that's just, I'll try to be politically correct and say it. No, I won't. Fat. I get somebody that's big and fat sitting on the seat next to me. And I always hated that because, the seats are too small anyway. And then you get somebody that really should be taking up 2 seats, squeeze into the one next to you, and it's like, oh, you think the plane's going to go down, flying down the road or down the sky like that, leaned over. So Grant Clark says, how long does the tornado season last? we've had them. We've had them all kinds of months, I think. I don't think there really is. I mean, there's technically a tornado season, but they can come anytime. Yeah, because we have all this weird weather. All that climate change stuff. Yeah. So, we'll see. Delta, yeah. Delta's a pretty good airline, I think. Let's see. He says, don't know how that's going to work in first. Oh, yeah, in first class. Yeah. Are they physically removing the seats or just taping them off where people won't sit in them? Yeah, till June, November for tornadoes. Yeah, I think we've had them as late as in November before. David says we really have 2 seasons in Dixie Alley. Yeah, spring and fall. Yeah. Yeah, in the summertime, it's almost too dadgum hot. Nothing wants to happen there. We don't even get rain a lot of times. I can't remember whether it was last year or the year before last, but we had I forget how many days, over 90 or 95 in a row. It was scorching hot. But I'd rather have that than the cold. I don't really like it when it gets that hot, but I can take it as long as I got out in the shop and have a fan blowing or something to stir the air. I'm okay. Plus, I can hit the button on the machine and come in, sit in the recliner, and watch it on the camera. So I'm in the AC anyway. So, all righty. Well, we've been on here almost 30 minutes. Janet has not showed up, so. Don't know. She might be busy. But last big tornado chase I was on in December in was that Mississippi, I think. Troy says, I'd rather cut grass than blow snow. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Ray says, the neighbor cut down all the trees yesterday. Going to be interesting to see where the snowdrift goes now. We are on top of hill. I will call her. Okay, I guess he's talking about Jen. Yeah, we got to look out for our coffee session people. Doug says, hey, Dave, the bull got out. I'm sure it was great. There was some bull got out here too, probably, if you ask around. Good to see you, Doug. I'm got a pretty big day planned. I'm going to do some laundry. Try to get all that done before the really bad stuff hits. And it is pouring buckets right now. But I don't hear any thunder or lightning. So that's good. But yeah. Bad stuff will be here probably about 4 o'clock is what they say. So I'll hunker down. There, I've already got my safe place prepared. I have my, I don't know what you call those things. It's like a little brick, but it's a thing you charge up. And then it's got like a little short cable, and you can charge something like a phone or other devices. I bet I can charge that phone. I bet you 10 or 15 times with that thing before it runs out of juice. So it's like a little battery brick or whatever. So I've got that in my safe place because my phone is notorious for it's old and I have to charge it 2 or 3 times a day. But anyhow, we'll hope for the best and hope y'all have a good day. And we'll hopefully see y'all tomorrow. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. So everybody have a good Thursday and be safe. See y'all.